Great to see you all again. We just finished up our second week of conference competition at home this time. We had Omaha on Thursday night, which was a battle going 15-13 in the fifth set. And then we played St. Thomas on Friday. We had a nice 3-0 sweep against them. And I'm really proud of our team for the growth that they continue to show and display as we get deeper and deeper into the season. One, going 5 with Omaha, that's the first time that we've gone 5 with Omaha since joining the Summit League. So a nice show of growth there. And then to turn around after a really gnarly battle Thursday night to play a good St. Thomas team and to really take it to them in a way that we had a really dominant performance that maybe we haven't seen since I got here at UND. And so really proud for the team for their ability to bounce back after Thursday night and play really tough on Friday. And then we had some pretty incredible individual performances as well. Elizabeth Norris gets her third triple-double of the season, which puts her squarely at top 3 in the country for this year. And then Marissa Stockman, who's going to join us in a little bit, and Casey Odell combined against St. Thomas to go 19 kills on 24 swings with no errors between the two of them, which is a pretty impressive stat line. When you have somebody hitting 800, those are video game level numbers. So some really nice individual performances, as well as a really nice team performance against St. Thomas Friday after going 5 with Omaha on Thursday. We turn around this week and we're at home again. We've got South Dakota on Thursday, which is our only home match this week. So we're really excited to have a single match week where we can put a lot of attention and focus on that one opponent. And then we're going to have a little bit of rest and relaxation before we turn around and we go to Kansas City and Omaha the following week.
Trying to gauge the competition of South Dakota, some of their results, is that more indicative of the balance that you talked about last week in the Summit League, just winning one and then you kind of try to figure out who they are and then they lose this one? And what do you make of that?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of parity in the conference this year, especially as we've started to get a chance to watch everybody competing against each other. South Dakota loses to Omaha and then turns around and sweeps Denver. And so I think this year you're going to see that there's a lot of teams right in the same level, and on any given night, anybody can beat anybody. And so pulling out the win against Oral Roberts 16-14 on the road was huge, because that's another W in the column that we really need to put ourselves in a position to have a great seed going into the Summit League tournament. So every night's going to be a battle, and we're excited to play South Dakota on Thursday for sure.
What does South Dakota do particularly well?
They've always had a really strong floor defense, and so that's something that we can expect them, is they're going to dig a ton of balls, and it's going to take more than one swing for us to win a rally. I think the other really exciting thing that's going to happen is that you're going to see their two middle blockers, Harms and Powman, are arguably the second best combination of middles in the conference, next to Marissa and Casey. And so you're actually going to see probably the 4 best middles in the conference going head-to-head against each other this Thursday night, which is going to be a really fun battle.
Jumping off of the Coyotes, just how has that team evolved without Elizabeth Junkie in their roster this year?
Yeah, great question. I think that's something that they're probably still trying to figure out themselves. They've had a really successful run over the last 4 years with Elizabeth at the helm for them, and now they're trying to figure out their identity without her. Which is a really interesting place for them to be, because they've always been a strong defensive team, and Elizabeth pushed them over the edge with her offense and what she was able to do there. Without her taking 50-plus swings a match, they've got to figure out how they want to distribute the ball in a different way, and I think that's where you see Harms and Powman get a lot more swings in the middle than you're used to seeing from South Dakota, but then you're also seeing some different people step up in different moments. They've got a freshman opposite, last name Lotion, who actually her older sister played at South Dakota a while ago, but she's stepped into a pretty big role for them in her first year, and then both of their outside hitters are carrying a much bigger load as well.
How extra important maybe is Thursday's game just because of the road trips that follow that?
Yeah, I think every match is going to be a battle. And when you look at the conference standings and where everybody's at right now, any win can put you in a better or a worse place depending on how it all shakes out at the end of the year. So we're really just taking it one match at a time and one day at a time and trying to keep our focus on what's to come right now in this moment.
You guys gave the Coyotes a really big test at home last year. How do you think your team has gotten better since then?
Yeah, I think we're way more physical. We're way better offensively than we were a year ago. And we've seen all the areas that we were successful last year continue to grow and develop as well. And so it's going to be interesting to see South Dakota without Elizabeth Junkie. And then I think they're still a really good passing team, but I don't know if they're passing at the same level that they were a year ago, and I think we're an even better serving team. So it'll be interesting to see how those two things match up, and it really comes down to which of us limits the ability of our opponent to set quick more often.